More Aussies are getting a second job. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.heise here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee and let's have a look at this article, which is discussing the number of people with a second job is increasing. More Aussies are getting two jobs. Now, the question is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? Or is it simply a sign of the times? Or maybe people are just doing the best they can to get ahead and to step up? Or is it smart to have a diversity of income sources, not be completely dependent on one employer or one job? The same things happened to my sister-in-law. Coming out of she was stood down working from the airport, come back and they want her, but during that time, she's skilled up and got another job. Unfortunately, she's complaining to a small business owner about having to work 7 days a week, which doesn't, there's no sympathy from me. That's normal, isn't it? Working nonstop. But the good thing is now she's got two income sources, two jobs. So if they screw her over, she's not happy at the other job, it's a lot less stressful because you can just tell them goodbye. I've got this other source of income. So in some ways, I would put the argument there that having two sources of income, two jobs, can be a stress reducer at one of the jobs because you can just tell them to take the bus. What do you reckon? Anyway, before we get through that, I want to talk about a few things, and I've asked the viewers to comment on this. I want to bring up a video I did about our median wage. Now, we'll talk about the average wage here in Australia. Now, what is more concerning, the average at this time, it was $63,085, the average wage. But the median, now the median is different. It's 52,000, and I'm drawing over it so you can't see it, but 52,000 and change. What the median is, say you've got a distribution curve, and this is the average or whatever. The median is right here where you have 50% on one side and 50% on the other. This is smack bang in the middle. So say for argument's sakes, this means that $55,000, more than half of the population in Australia is earning less than that. Well, 53,000, more than half of the Australian population is earning less than that per annum. Okay? So the average, it's just the average wage, but it's not to do with the number of people because we're talking about wages here. So keep that in mind. So it's not surprising people are getting, or maybe need to get two jobs as well, just to get ahead, everyone. So let's have a look at this article. The number of people with second jobs continues to climb after COVID. The coronavirus pandemic has forced Aussies to make a significant change in their approach to work, the latest figures reveal. About 23,000 more Australians are holding down multiple jobs compared to the start of the pandemic, the latest figures reveal. The proportion of people working more than one job jumped over the March quarter from 6% to 6.3%, according to the ABS data on Wednesday. It comes after secondary jobs took a tumble during the early phase of the pandemic last year, plunging to the lowest level in 26 years. Early in the COVID-19 period, secondary jobs fell faster than main jobs, ABS head of Labour Statistics Bjorn Jarvis said. Well, that's the issue, guys. Think about it. That's the whole point of having two jobs. If you're stood down at your secondary job, if they let you go at your secondary job because of government interventions, then you've got backup, and it's a little less stress. It's also why you need to have side gigs or develop other things and have a diversity of skill stacks that you can draw upon. The rate of multiple job holding fell from 6% in March quarter 2020 down to 4.9% in June quarter 2020. That was the lowest it had been since the beginning of the Labour Account Data Series in '94. Mr. Jarvis said the recent growth in secondary jobs meant there were 23,000 more multiple job holders than at the start of the pandemic. The area with the largest increase in secondary jobs was the administrative and support services industry, where secondary jobs grew 49,700 to 310,000. Overall, filled jobs jumped 73,700 or 0.5% in the 2021 March quarter, seasonally adjusted. Of these, 56,100 were jobs worked by people as a secondary job. This came on the back of stronger growth in main jobs in the December quarter, Mr. Yava said. Earlier this month, Treasury revealed about 56,000 Australians had lost their jobs in this month since JobKeeper ended on the 28th of March. Treasury Secretary Dr. Stephen Kennedy told Senate estimates potentially more job losses were on the way. However, there were early signs that the strength of the job market meant many of these people are finding jobs, he added. The May labour market report to be released on June 17th will provide a detailed update on the job market since JobKeeper ended. Dr. Kennedy said the economy was still expected to grow by 5.25% in 2021, with the vaccine rollout and fiscal policy and support continuing to drive growth over the next few years. So, there you go. There you go. So, perhaps the JobKeeper cliff hasn't materialized into anything. Because, you know, it's just going gangbusters. And I wonder how much of that is due to, well, the housing stimulus that's been brought forward. And don't worry, guys, in the construction sector, if it cools down, we'll just have Mortgage Keeper or Home Builder too now. Don't worry about the debt. Don't worry about the debt. Don't worry. That's your grandkids' problem. And just, you know, get them to move over to Poland or somewhere. Anyway, let's have a look at this poll I asked all of you to participate in. And you can find these on the community tab of my YouTube channel, or they should probably, most likely, appear on your phone, you know, when you're surfing. So when what was it? When I took the screenshot last night, we had 133 votes. Now we have 1,200 votes. Wow. There you go. So, how many jobs or sources of income do you have? And I did the sums with Rachel. I think we're up to about 6 different things, you know. If I, you know, architecture, equipment rental, YouTube, share investments, you know, some things less than others, but, you know, so all about spreading it out as much as you can. So, how many jobs or sources of income do you have? 11% said none. 46%, the majority said one job or one source of income. 2 were at 28%, up to 5 was 11%, and more than 5 was 4%. Now, this is the worrying thing here. You're putting all your eggs in one basket. And, you know, maybe if you're in a good position, you're owning the company, I can appreciate how if you're running a business or you've got a business, it's all coming from the one source, you may not have the time to diversify, or it may not feel like it's worth it. You know, you're pulling in hundreds of thousands of dollars a year from a business, you know, in cash flow coming through to you directly. Maybe it's not worth setting something else up, but you never know. You never know. So let's have a look at your comments. And I'll sort it by newest first. So, not enough is all I can write. 1. Okay, so Michelle's garden only has 1, which I mean, that's right. Not enough. That's the thing that can be concerned. You want to diversify. Alphonse, don't worry. The universal basic income will save us and we'll all be happy. Oh, sorry, we'll all own nothing and be happy, guys. So there you go. You know, the World Economic Forum is going to save us. I'm not, well, let's just say I'm a little skeptical about the idea of a universal basic income working. What it'll devolve into, everyone, is every special interest group will need their own special version of UBI. You know, bald German descent men with silver beards should get a different type of UBI to, I don't know, purple wearing protesters. Of course, the bald men should get more. To fund our coffee dependency. So, Sunrise. My passive income is now my main income. My job is just a hobby. That's the situation you want to be in, everyone. That is, you know, it's the FIRE movement. The financially independent retire early. Now, the people that do that, I guarantee you, I would be shocked if they, you know, retire and stop working entirely. Then they'll do a job that they just want to do. And they've got the same thing. They've got the FU money going, you know what? No, I don't need to put up with this. Bye. And that takes the stress right out of it. And, of course, Sonia made a smart-ass comment. You're paid to write dumb stuff on YouTube. Well, there you go. I mean, if you can, find a way. Depends who's asking. Exactly, I voted 0 just in case. Okay. Guys, the ATO isn't going to track this. Oh, maybe they will. Dun, dun, dun. Quick, quick. I need a sponsorship for that. What's that? Every time I watch Peter Schiff, he's plugging this IP blocker thing. Oh, I can't remember it. Anyway, mate. Three brown eyes. Hey, mate, been a while since I've said anything, but before my accident, I worked at least 3 jobs in 1 week. Car detailing. Got a bit clean wipe for the ladies. Always a pizza shop. Being a manager has its perks for free food. And as a strapper and trainer for a boxing club. Now I'm back at it driving cross country. It's great after 10 years on his butt. Oh, there you go. Good. Chris had 6 until his divorce. Oh, well. Jackson. For every income stream, you're 1 step away from poverty. You just got a job, you're 1 step away. I share my house, which I'm leasing as an extra income source. Well, there you go. Jackson's got it. That's true. All bloke. Wife's part-time job for a bit longer and living on savings. Fortunately, retirement funds are growing quicker than we were spending it, which wasn't planned, but a pleasant outcome nonetheless. Working until you die has warts on it. It does, but if you enjoy your job, if you enjoy what you're doing as your work, then it kind of doesn't matter. You know. Derp, deep derp. I get good boy points from mum, redeemable for Wendy's and KFC. Does that count? I don't know if it would. Maybe, perhaps. I remember when I had my first job at high school, I used to buy my father Subways. I was telling Rachel, you know, the thing would be go to the VHS shop. Now for the youngins here, that's we had to actually go to a shop to borrow a tape. Go to the VHS shop, you know, video shop. Get a video and then get a Big Mac meal and just sit down there and enjoy a good Big Mac and a video. There you go. See, that's the life. When you had 3 episodes you could watch, like Star Trek or something. You know, those were the days, guys. Anyway, let's see. 1 job supports 1 family, only possible in Australia, the lucky country. By the way, I'm a Russian bot. Okay, well, not quite, mate. Not anymore. Not anymore. Xandar, rent from investment properties. Car wash business was temp closed for our wonderful lockdowns. Builders vacate cleaning and rubbish removal business. Online consultation is a startup phase. Okay, so they've got a few businesses here. Now, the car wash. This is an interesting one. I remember, years ago, I went and got the car washed up in northern Brisbane somewhere. I just drove in to this pretty much robotic car wash. And the guy, because it was he drove it in there, and it was a Camry, I've got a hybrid, and he kept going, mate, is it on? Is it on? I go, yeah, it's running. It's a hybrid. The engine doesn't kick in until you go faster. You just drive it in. He was shocked. So I had a chat to him, because he was the owner. He had a car washing business, but he also had a little Domino's in the same thing. And I said, mate, what makes more money? And he goes, car washing, car washing, car washing. You don't have to put up with the staff, the idiots, the teenagers, no one turning up for work, can't find people. He loves the car washing business because it's just these robot machines that do it all. He doesn't have to worry about it. No HR, no people problems. So that's an interesting one, guys. Define income because the ATO certainly can't, from Andrew. Clara, disability support pension. It's a little in our economy, but I'm so grateful for every cent. So she's making do just on the pension. You got to find another, even something small, something you can make at an op shop or at a market. You want that little bit of diversity. Karen, soon to be none and happy as not consuming, downsizing, minimalism, cutting all costs, simply living with family nature, the way to go. No external influence, i.e. media. Now, this is an interesting one. I have the fantasy of, starting a hiking YouTube channel, where I go hiking and just do hiking channels, videos, and those type of things. I go to Rachel, can I buy a camera? Can I set it up? And she goes, yeah, you need to prove to me you can do weekly content before you invest in anything. So we'll see if that happens. But there's a YouTube channel I watch who is, he does hiking things and goes all over the world, Craig Adams, and he went down the whole minimalist path. And a young guy could live out of a backpack, really just cramming down what you don't need. And that's a fantasy for a father or expecting our 6th child. So New Guardian, rent and primary wage in my 20s, I worked my butt off with several jobs. I mean, this is the thing. Working several jobs is going to be a lot easier when you're younger. The older you get, you kind of get a bit grumpy, you know? Divisionix asking if OnlyFans counted. And I said, well, according to the ATO and IRS, it would. And, you know, well, there you go. And finally, 2 jobs, 1 rental income, some dividend stocks and deposits, but a very expensive wife. And I gave that one a heart because I had to tell Rachel about that one. Lucky for me, my wife is pretty reasonable. Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, I've got an awesome, super budget-conscious, cheap wife. You know, much better than I was. I've become really cheap now, but she's really good. I'm hearing you try trading her in. For a new model with less mileage, and this is just gonna mine is like, here we go, all bloke, mine is like Gandhi and spends so little it's scary sometimes. Ain't nothing that any woman has to offer that is worth paying high maintenance costs for. In fact, mine actually earns money this year where I didn't, which made me a toy boy. See, oh, well, there we go, old bloke. So next time you come out with the comments, mates, I know this, you're just a toy boy. You're just your wife's toy boy. Getting late and getting paid doesn't get any better than that. And I think that's the perfect one to end the looking at your comments, guys. Getting paid and getting late. So I will do a refresh to see if we've had any change to the numbers here, the stats. Yes, but it hasn't really affected everything. Still 47% of one source of income or job. So what's the solution and takeaway from this? As always, I'm going to push for the increasing of financial literacy, and there'll be more videos. I discussed this today that I'm, worried about. Getting free from debt, I hope would shift the Overton window. It would shift people to a more sensible position, but also reducing government regulation. Just the red tape. If you want to even start a business, you can't even cut hair from home without having to jump 50 hoops. That's the thing that destroys innovation, that destroys opportunity. And then they tax you the full amount on your secondary job. It gets really messy. It really does. So we need to reduce the government to free people to create innovation, to create opportunity. Remember how many things inventions have come from people's backyard garage. Look at Metal Storm. What is it, a Woolies or a Coles worker started a huge new weapons tech from its garage. That's an Australian innovation. Anyway, guys, what do you reckon? What would your suggestions be for secondary income that people could start? As always, let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. Thank you all for watching. If you're a fan and enjoy the content I create here, there are a few ways you can support us. You can join us on YouTube or Patreon. You can sign up for SelfWealth or Stake. Use our affiliate links at Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or AussieBroadband. You can buy merch from HeiseSays. We've got some lovely pocket squares. You can use Gold Pass from the Perth Mint or support us via PayPal. Take care. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.